April 11th, 2025. Orange Beginner's Corner. I just bought this about a month ago. I don't know why I have a focusing problem, but something's up with my cell phone that I use here. Anyways, I'm not seeing a ripple on the B+, so I decided to go to the filaments here. Pin 1 is the shell. Pin 2, it must be cathode or something. I don't know what even tube this is. Anyways, I'm hooked up. 2 and 7 are filaments. So I'm hooked up to the filaments here. 5 volts per division. I'm on, my probe is on X10.
Like a lot of mine.
It doesn't hum. The filter capacitor's right there. I disconnected this one wax capacitor here that's across the, it would be across the audio output transformer. So I nipped that one. Everything else, looking at another schematic of a national receiver like similar to this a while back, and it looked like that would be the only problem. I think there's bypasses with grid number 2s, but that won't take out a coil or nothing serious if it burns it. Just take out a resistor, I guess. So we're at 5 volts per division. Let's see what it's saying anyways. RMS almost 6.9 volts. Which means what? .9 volts means that it should have an updated power transformer that's ready for 120 volts. That's probably what it means. And that's because if the filaments are running at 6.9 volts, that could be too high of voltage and put the tubes into leakage. Anyways,
colors, and you know, we've talked about it. The tungstens and different things. A lot of these now they're doing are kind of
this is going. I'll measure all the resistors. Must be in this area. Here's another electrolytic. In the detector circuit probably. This one is the probably on the cathode of the 6V6. And this one has one of those OD3 tubes, a voltage regulator. I think this one's the regulator. This one's the 6V6. So we got a RF amp someplace here. Probably this one. Mixer oscillator probably. An IF. And another IF someplace, probably the other IF right here. Here's a coil. I'm not getting good hits. I can't see what I'm really hitting at. Not through the viewfinder. Anyways, so if this is accurate, I'd assume it is. Should be 6.3 volts, so it could cause these tubes to run into a leakage, or even to short leakage, gassy to leakage, I'm trying to say, I guess. So I'm gonna remove this. Oops. Go up to 25 volts per division and put this to the B+. I'm on AC. I think this is the highest B+ right here. I think that's the lower. I think there's 2 capacitors there. Yeah, 2 capacitors. It's on. It's accepting. It's acting like DC voltage. It's on AC. It should show it here because it's showing 60 hertz. It's probably 120 hertz. It's a full wave rectifier, 5x3 I think it is. So it should show it here. It's like showing DC voltage. I put it all the way down here. Something's up. Well, I'm not going to waste any more time on this. I'll go back to 6.3. The filaments here. Change it up. Whoops. I keep it right there. I keep this one down. Okay. I think the filter capacitor is good, but it is showing signs of corrosion. Go back to pin 7 on the filaments. This drops too. I'm not used to using this thing for that kind of work. 60 hertz, 6.9 volts on the filaments. So I'll call it 7 volts. That could put it into gassy. What am I trying to do? I'm off. This is full blast. Let me see where the RF is.
Some people are a little panicked, so just talking to
Here's the trimmer.
Make sure everyone was okay.
In New York, CBS's
Antenna match.
was following the investigation into the Hudson River helicopter crash that killed 6, including a Spanish business executive.
The wife, his 3 children, ages 11
Anyways,
all died, as well as
all this stuff has to be replaced a little at a time. I'm going to try to restuff them. I think that's going to be a real pain. There's a lot of these things in here. It's loaded. I'm going to take care of this one first and do the filter capacitor. It would be nice if I could get a 120 volt input transformer. I don't even know what this is rated. If it's rated for 110 volts input, 15, 117. Since I was real young, we had 110, and I think we had a 100. I see stuff 115. I remember seeing us having 117. Then we went to the 220. So we had I think my outlet always reads 125 on my meter. So my meter that I use for working on this stuff, household input usually reads about 125 or 24 or 23, 123 at the lowest. So I get this thing done, this one done, and the double filter, 2 capacitors. There's nothing, no filter on top. All I had to do is put a new cord in here. I couldn't get it through all this it had like hoops to go through there, so I just did that. I was trying, but here's the VFO oscillator. Actually, I know what that's for now. So these could be the paper capacitors. I'll snip them, test them, and if they test good, I'll just do side-by-side soldering. It's okay with me. I believe in it. Here's another one with a resistor wrapped around it. Here's the antenna back here. So this is probably the RF, that one, and this one's probably the mixer oscillator. Probably the first IF, probably the second IF, and there's a 6SL7 or a 6SN7 in here. I think that is probably this one. No, 330 ohms. Yeah, I think it is. There's a 4.3 ohms for some reason. I can't tell how far down my finger is, no way. Well, usually I can find the audio output by a 150 ohm resistor. Pretty sure this is the OD3. I think. Meanwhile, I gotta see the frequency at what frequency I'm on. Here I'm on 60 meters. I have to see if I can figure this out. Right there. Some people were talking it local to me. I actually like this radio better. This one has a very nice band spread. You can't beat that SOB. I like it better, the chorus tuning over here and band spread over here. This is very nice. Turn it on here. I have a glass 6H6 in there. I bought a couple of them instead of this one. This one's good. And this here, it's full of stuff. I think one of these cans have that disease, silver mica disease, because it doesn't go very loud. Let me see where I'm at here. How's the volume? Here's the volume. I'm on. This will come in at night. This is full blast, but I think one of these have silver mica. So this static is probably not the silver mica. It could be. But I can't get in complete dark right now to look at it, I don't think. Anyways. Have to find 3 point. It's on C. Oh, I'm already there. No, I wasn't. Where was I? I was coming over this one. Okay. Okay. So this, you don't have to have nothing connected to it. It transmits. It's a transmitter. I'll use my other generator. I'll use my other generator because I have no way to hook up my oscilloscope to this. I have a converter, but I don't want to. I'll get the other one out. I like the blue face stuff. I got 3 pieces of this stuff. I got a old I have the other one with the, this is the 315. What is it? 320. I also have the 315 with the OD3 tube in it for a filter or voltage regulator. So, but this doesn't get up to the 2 meters very good. It does. It actually does right here through the harmonics or whatever. It actually does right up here. Gets on the 2 meters. But the other one works better. This one is just for shits and giggles. But this band spread, this ain't here. When I thought this, I ruined that with my speaker. I had a wire disconnected, a resistor. I couldn't find the resistor on the schematic, so I removed it. I thought it's not supposed to be there, but it's in series with this apparently in a roundabout way. Now that could be that silver mica disease affecting that. If it's going with the arcing. That's on the automatic gain control, I believe. It's not calibrated. I just twisted it to what I wanted at the time. The adjuster on the back of it. It's got a wire wound resistor for adjusting that, I believe it was. This is a very nice band spread. Very nice. Well, it's one of these babies. So I have to get into that. And I have to see if I got those capacitors going from AC to capacitors going to the chassis to see if I'm not preventing RF from going out the AC cord. That might be my antenna, the AC cord. I'm not sure. But I don't remember what I did to this. I might have just took a capacitor, the one I chose to be neutral, which is probably... No, I don't have it. Well, this is a polarizing plug, so usually I'll color this black. See, and this is the neutral. These are from Menards. These yellow things, I have more of these on a lot of stuff, and these yellow things are disappearing, so I have to hold this when I'm going to plug it in with my fingers like this to keep them separated. I have to hold them with my thumb. It's kind of a risky plug they sell at Menards. Very risky. I'd like to go talk to them about it, but I don't know how many of those pieces I need, and they don't have anything better that's small and delicate like that. Otherwise, I got to buy clod hoppers. I don't want clod hoppers. 3 point something. It's on 40 meters, or I mean 80 meters. So that was active this morning at about 9 o'clock. They weren't even on the sideband. I keep this off, I guess. I get better signal strength. I just use my signal strength like this. I don't use this. I don't have it on automatic. I do it myself. I like control of the RF gain versus automatic volume control. So anyways, I'm not seeing any ripple on this thing. Got almost 7 volts on the filaments, which I don't know what would cause a tube to go into gassiness or into leakage. That could be very serious on a receiver. And this one I want to try to get going, but I don't like the band spread. It sucks. I can't read it. I don't like the color either. Pretty dirty looking. Anyways, I have a schematic that's, I think the schematic I found was the same number, but I know it's not the same schematic. I know it isn't. Can't remember why I spotted that right away. This shuts that shuts the whole B plus off. That was amazing to see that. It's been around cigarette smoke. It feels yellowy. So I'd like to get this one working, and then I can use this one at night. And I'm not going to do all the waxies. I think they're at this time. I'll get this one right here, and also the one for the tone. And because that's across the B plus, that's going from, I think, if you got it switched to the most base, it's going to go right to ground to the plate of the tube, I believe. Can't have that. Because if it goes to the craps, then we're going to have to replace the output transformer. So I think this is the voltage regulator. Voltage regulator, the 6V6.
Not like that's an
I changed my mind. 5Y3 is one of these. Let me shut this thing down to shut that off. The tube's all tested good. I'm not going to say that. I don't remember if I tested them. I tested a few of them. I'll measure all the resistors. Put a red mark across for ones that gain value a lot, and ones I can't read, I put a darker color, green or blue or something, whatever shows up. So this one is I think the voltage regulator, and I'm using an open spot here, or they did, and they had just the ACs slipped in like that. It's not my idea. This is the one I think goes to ground. It goes through these gray wires to the switch and comes back, and I think I got to make sure I get the capacitor on the neutral though, because they usually like a hot chassis when you shut it off. So if they got the way they usually wire them up, they wire them up so neutral comes in, goes through the switch, and then comes towards chassis, or comes to chassis. And then the hot is hooked up to the primary of that, or the filaments. So when you break the neutral, Then the AC swings all around the windings or all the filaments and comes back towards ground. It is almost ground because it goes all the way around and it's back right at you. I noticed that on guitar amps some years back. I thought, well, what the hell? Then I started noticing it was like that on 5-tube radios too. Well, this is it. So this one here at least has the big, the capacitors are on the outside. Matter of fact, on one of my receivers I tore apart. I'm going to examine a can, IF can. I tore apart one of my receivers again. I didn't like it because it has an input. I'll get the transformer. This is the FM tuner, obviously. I'm going to use this for a project. I need 2 of these, but I need them. That's what it came out of. I need them. Where's the one? One of them. Give it a slap there. One of these. I tried to mark them. These are actually AM FM. I think all of them. Second IF. First I marked them AM. One of these are falling apart on me. Maybe I put it back together. Wasn't this one? This one has a wire across. Oscillator converter tube. Well, I'll pop one apart. Okay, this is 6BA6 tube. I think there's 2 of these for the IF. It's an IF, yeah. The orange wire is towards the labeling. So I'm going to pop it apart. The orange wire went to the FM. Another one just for FM. So I know where that orange wire went. But these kind here, I like them. This is for the Pioneer. I tried to jot this stuff down, make notes on it as much as I could. So there was an orange wire. I think this orange wire, here's the orange wire that I'm looking at, I think, on this one. But anyways, what I like about these kind is they have these big, I think they were like 39 picofarads. Some picofarads, I think. Let's bend one out a little bit. 30 picofarads. So I kind of like that style of a insider. So you don't have to worry about silver mica on these babies. It's got an adjustable here and an adjustable on the top. So I thought that was very nicely made. This was the Pioneer. Now this one here is rated at 115 volts. But it's a scam. That's a label that was on it. I kept it. Oh, here's the thing. Oh shit! I tore it off. The labeling said 110 volts. I tore it off already. I forgot I tore it off. That's to the Pioneer. Anyways, so I tried to keep track of this stuff as the best I could. So that one's a 7111A. And then I think the next two are the same. But I still marked them. So I'll keep this with it. Oh, these two diodes, I get a kick out of these kind of diodes. I like those things. They're big, giant. I gotta test them and make sure they're good. Pretty cool looking diodes. So I have all those. I'm saving them just because I think they're pretty cool looking. They got, can be used maybe in a 5-tube radio where one has a mica for one of the IFs, maybe not. I think they usually read around 16 ohms or something. So my other receivers now are all solid state, but they're still old. So the next step is this. But I don't think these kind can get silver mica disease. They have legit capacitors in them. They probably have the little silver micas in there. Not giant ones like these. Wherever they're at. There's one right there. So that's probably the RF. Down towards the antenna stuff, I would assume. Because here's your antenna match right here. I believe that's what it is. It says trimmer. So that's the RF stuff. Local oscillator stuff. RF, I would assume, and mixer oscillator. We have to have a